And the Grape Fest is back for its 43rd year this weekend. 5 News reporter Taylor Howard went to the event all day, even competed in that grape stomp. She has met one of a family who keeps this tradition alive.
Well, it's rewarding, you know. You do something for a whole year, and then you come out here and you sell your grapes, and people say, you know, that's your reward.
James Dahlem has been growing grapes in Altus for 30 years, and now he helps lead the festival as the chairman. If you ask him what keeps him doing it, he says his answer's never changed.
The people. I mean, it's about the people.
That's why he says it means so much more than a festival for his family.
It's just a tradition, you know.
That started long before James, and something he says he enjoys having his children and grandchildren a part of, too.
Our ancestors started this grape growing region years ago. My grandfather raised grapes. I had an uncle that raised grapes. I had other kin folks that raised grapes up on this mountain.
His son, Tyler Dahlem, says watching his dad all these years carry on the festival has taught him what matters most.
Money's not everything. It's how you treat people. It's doing something you love. He loves doing this stuff. He loves giving back to the community.
Something he hopes he teaches his little girl.
Make sure we show our younger kids what we do. Huh.
The harvest may only last for a season, but the memories last a lifetime.
Everybody has to do some sort of job to get all of this to come together. Everybody's idea is welcomed, you know, and that's why I guess we've kept going for 43 years.
In Altus, covering news where you live, Taylor Howard, 5 News.
The Grape Fest runs all day tomorrow on Altus City Park from 8 to 5. And by the way, Taylor insists that she will take first place in next year's stomp. Also happening this weekend, United Way of Fort Smith area holding its annual Fill the Bus School Supply Drive. It's happening again tomorrow from 9 to 1. Volunteers will be outside Walmart stores across the entire River Valley. We spoke with organizers today about how you can help donate.
So essentially, when you come out to the Walmart locations, you'll see the big bus like what's behind me. You'll have volunteers that will give you a supply list, and if you want to donate, you simply buy those supplies, bring them out to the bus, and we will actually load and fill that bus.
Once again, volunteers will be out from 9 to 1 tomorrow at all Walmart supercenters across the River Valley. Mayor of Centerton is asking residents now to conserve water after he says the city's demand for water is outpacing supply. Mayor Bill Edwards says that during the temporary moratorium, they're asking residents to stop all irrigation and other non-essential outdoor watering. He's asking you to limit water usage to essential purposes like drinking, cooking, cleaning, and bathing. The mayor says the restrictions are necessary to ensure an adequate water supply for essential needs and, of course, fire protection. This will stay in effect until conditions allow it to be lifted. 2 teens died and another injured after a car crashed into Lake Boonville near Old Highway 10 last night. It happened just west of the Sebastian County line. Investigators say one person was able to escape the vehicle but was hospitalized with injuries. The other 2 were not able to escape and died at the scene. Sheriff's office has not released the victim's identity and say the investigation remains active. Neighbor we spoke with today say the tragedy has shaken this very close-knit community.
Real hard, but everybody gets together and tries to help, and I wouldn't live nowhere else.
Boonville Public Schools posted on Facebook saying it's heartbroken by the tragic loss of 2 members of our Bearcat family in an accident last night. It's been more than 2 weeks now since the deadly shooting of a teenager in Fort Smith. Tonight we have learned U.S. Marshal is offering a reward for one of the suspects. Jasmine Johnston is charged with capital murder in the shooting, and tonight U.S. Marshals announcing a $5,000 reward for information that leads to her arrest. Fort Smith police say the 20-year-old should be considered armed and dangerous. Developing today, Pea Ridge Police have announced it plans to discontinue its use of flock cameras. Police Chief Lynn Hahn made that decision, saying while the cameras have helped recover stolen vehicles and locate missing people, The department must also consider the impact on public trust. In a statement, the chief said every tool used by law enforcement should be evaluated not only for its effectiveness, but also for how it affects the community's confidence in police. The decision comes amid a nationwide debate over these cameras. License plate recognition systems are designed to help investigators track vehicles and solve crimes, but have also drawn criticism over privacy, mass surveillance, and the company's data retention practices. Cyclospora cases in Arkansas have more than doubled in the most recent update from the state health department. Current number of confirmed cases, 79 right now. That's up 36 at the start of this week alone. 50 of those 79 confirmed cases are in Benton County. Now, the infection has sickened thousands of people across the country, and grower Taylor Farms says it's voluntarily suspended all production at its Central Mexico plant. Company's products has been identified as one possible source. Abigail Lamond was diagnosed with Cyclospora and admitted to the hospital 2 weeks ago. Doctors, though, not able to prescribe the only effective antibiotic because she's pregnant.
Were you afraid for the baby?
Yes, I was very afraid. But the worse I got, the more I thought this can't be good for the baby either.
The FDA is reporting another Cyclospora outbreak that has sickened at least 72 people. The agency, though, has not released any information on whether the new outbreak is also tied to lettuce from Mexico or Taylor Farms. Cases of West Nile virus, meanwhile, have already been reported in more than 20 states this year. CDC says the high-risk season for the virus may be moving earlier in the year. Bradley Blackburn spoke to one young woman who survived a very serious case.
Alex Ingleterra is a competitive rock climber who grew up in Colorado. But last year, when she was just 17, her health suddenly tumbled.
Symptoms just kept getting worse. I was getting really bad headaches. I got a rash, dizziness, nauseousness.
For days, doctors dismissed her symptoms until her fever jumped to more than 105. Then the ER knew it was serious.
They didn't know what it was, so we did a spinal tap and they diagnosed me with meningitis. And I stayed in the hospital for about 3.5 days.
Tests confirmed her meningitis was caused by West Nile virus, likely from a single mosquito bite. Data suggests most West Nile cases are reported in July, August, and September. But the high-risk season may now be arriving earlier and lasting longer.
This is being driven by climate change, so we're having longer summers, they're arriving earlier, and that correlates then with longer, earlier mosquito seasons.
CBS News medical correspondent Dr. Celine Gounder says while it's rare, West Nile can cause severe neurological problems, sometimes with lasting effects. It's critical to protect yourself.
Using insect repellent with DEET or Picaridin is highly effective in warding off mosquitoes, and then avoiding peak mosquito hours, so dawn and dusk. But we also need other things like mosquito control workers.
You are lucky to be alive.
Yeah, I'm super grateful.
A year later, Alex has finally recovered, but says her story should be a real warning.
Wear a mosquito spray, and if you start to show symptoms, seek help.
A long climb back after surviving a dangerous disease. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
With 5 months left in the year, the CDC says the number of measles cases this year has already surpassed all of last year. There have been 2,300 confirmed cases this year. Data shows 93% of patients are unvaccinated, with the largest outbreaks in Utah, South Carolina, Texas, and Virginia. Health experts say 2 shots of the MMR vaccine are 97% effective at preventing measles.
Transmission. We know that local public health officials are doing their best to try to get a handle on these outbreaks, to do outbreak investigations, and to try to stop transmission. But we're not getting strong messaging from the federal government, and in particular, promoting measles vaccination.
According to the CDC, vaccination coverage among kindergartners in at least 3 dozen states is below the 95% needed for herd immunity. In November, the Pan American Health Organization will decide if the U.S. will lose its official elimination status for measles. The Veterans Healthcare System of the Ozarks getting more than $31 million for major upgrades at its Fayetteville campus. Funding will help modernize surgical services while also restoring and repairing some of the campus's historic buildings. The bulk of the funding, more than $31 million, will renovate the hospital's sterile processing service. That's where equipment used during surgeries is cleaned and sterilized between procedures. Now, the project will add faster, modernized equipment, which hospital leaders say could help staff prepare operating rooms more quickly and provide care to more veterans.
We'll have quicker machines to sterilize quicker. We'll be able to turn over our surgery rooms quicker. So our veterans will get the care that they need in like a quicker time frame.
VA also got more than $450,000 to renovate historic Building 6 that is currently used for storage. Local projects are part of a record $4.8 billion nationwide VA investment in healthcare facilities.